two seas, one of water, one of space. Their ships linked in a new adventure, a project called Apollo.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
In 1961, John F. Kennedy opened one of the greatest planning and engineering efforts attempted by mankind. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration and its contractors were appointed to the task. This is Complex 39, Kennedy Space Center, point of departure for those who will travel 239,000 miles to the lunar surface. This is Saturn V. 3,000 tons of hardware with 7.5 million pounds of sea-level thrust. It will boost an Apollo spacecraft and 3 astronauts into the lunar flight path. And this is Apollo, the system which will take men to the moon and bring them back to Earth. At Houston, Mission Control, a place of decision, based on the exchange of information with men in space and men around the globe. Men who work the largest tracking and data acquisition network in the world. After years of preparation, everything is ready. The Apollo Flight Director, AFD, is ready.
This is AFD, standby for final launching check. Vanguard cap time. AFD, Vanguard cap time. Status is green. Roger. Carnarvon cap time. AFD, Carnarvon go. Roger. Mile M&O. Mile M&O go. Bermuda M&O.
NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, which coordinates all data from the worldwide tracking network, is ready. Everything is ready.
1 minute and counting. Proceeding normally. Nine. Ignition sequence start. GRR.
GRR, Ground Reference Release. The moment has come.
2, 1. Ignition. We have ignition. All engines are running. Liftoff. We have liftoff. We have liftoff. All engines go. The tower has... All right, Tower, building shaking here. Building shake. Terrific. The building shaking. The big glass window is shaking. We're holding it with our hands. Look at that rocket go.
Controllers are reporting enthusiastically that all parameters look good. The flight director says go all the way. 1 minute, 50 seconds. 15 miles downrange. 2 minutes. Coming up on staging.
Inboard out.
No reports yet on the outboard engines.
Outboard cut off. Roger, outboard.
There are the outboard engines. We can see it visually.
Good, S2.
Outboard cutoff was called at 2 minutes, 34 seconds.
Vanguard has TM solid, all vehicles. Roger, Vanguard, predicted cutoff, 11 plus 07. Roger, 11 plus 07. AFC, Vanguard, all telemetry sources look good at this time. Roger, Vanguard.
The three-stage Saturn booster has telescoped the spacecraft to where no land station can effectively track it. But the U.S. naval ship Vanguard is in position beneath Apollo's path.
Yes, man, sight. Roger. Vanguard confirms cutoff, J2. Roger, Vanguard. Flight, Vanguard, we are go all sources. Copy, Vanguard.
More than 20 years ago, these veterans of World War II were put away in mothballs. Three tankers, whose missions were to transport fuel across war-torn seas of the 40s, are called upon to serve another cause. Now they will be transformed into Apollo instrumentation ships for the U.S. space program. At Quincy, Massachusetts, the old midsection tanks are removed. When the fore and aft sections are separated, the mid-body is floated out. The keel is laid for the reconstruction. The new mid-body will add 75 feet to the length of the ship and 7 feet to her beam. The ship is now 595 feet long, with a beam of 75 feet. Into the new mid-body will go 455 tons of complex electronic equipment in separate instrumentation compartments. Hotel accommodations for technical personnel, exercise and recreation facilities for leisure hours during weeks at sea. A ship and its electronic cargo merge into a single functioning system, the product of a battery of skills in shipbuilding, electronics, telemetry, command and control, communications, navigation, data processing, systems management, and systems integration. Now, that single functioning system will be subjected to many weeks of testing, both at dockside and at sea. a crew of 88, and a 122-man technical team from government and industry will make the total complex operational. The Apollo instrumentation ship is a device for both tracking and communication. It embraces more equipment than does any single land station. For its primary mission is indelibly connected with two of Apollo's most critical steps: insertion into Earth orbit and injection into the lunar flight path. Both occur above the ocean. Neither can be fully monitored from land. At those moments in time, the three Apollo instrumentation ships are the main links for communications between the moon-bound spacecraft and mission control at Houston.
Vanguard confirms cutoff, J2. Roger, Vanguard. Flight, Vanguard, we are go all sources. Copy, Vanguard.
It is from this room, the sea-based Mission Control Center, that the flight would be aborted should trouble occur, and if contact should be lost between the astronauts and Houston.
Okay, the pitch rate on the S4B is a little bit low at this time. It is .04. 0.8 seconds. Roger. Okay. Other than that, everything is go. Roger. Flight, Vanguard. AFT, Vanguard Capcom. Vanguard. Roger, we have that LOS and C-band LOS also. All vehicles. All systems are go, going over the hill.
Vanguard reports that the spacecraft is in Earth orbit. Now, between the astronauts and NASA's worldwide tracking network, an extensive checkout operation begins. This will confirm that the S-4B stage, the lunar module, the command and service module, and the astronauts are ready. Ready to leave Earth orbit, ready to enter that flight path to the moon. That maneuver must be followed from two other oceans, where two more Apollo instrumentation ships close the gaps between land-based tracking stations.
Roger, get in position. Where's the track? Roger.
Acquisition data from Houston are loaded into the central data processing system.
Message on plan. M&O, CDP, M&O loop. Go ahead. We have a valid acquisition time 15-15-22 with March 19th selected. Roger. Roger. The antennas can slave at this time. Roger.
Computers command the antennas to aim at that point on the horizon where the orbiting spacecraft will appear. To keep the antennas stabilized against the motions of the sea, the ship's position and attitude are precisely measured by its inertial navigation system. In the Operations Control Center, instrumentation managers monitor the status of all shipboard systems.
Okay, all personnel, we're at 10 minutes. 10 minutes for the third rev. Everything's looking good. All personnel stand by in case we're called to go active. S-band, you copy? Yes, sir. Roger.
The unified S-band system, ready.
RS command, you copy? RS command, copy.
The command and control system, ready.
Roger, you know that you configuration is this rev, this exchanges, we'll change it in real time. Roger, understand.
Operators stand by and wait.
C-band in Minot and Manolis. Steve Hinkle. Roger, stand by to bring up your carrier. Will do. Okay, C-band, bring your carrier on in 2 seconds. Mark. C-band only. Roger, C-band on. CSPAOS.
First contact.
VHF contact.
On track.
Solid lock, PCM 1, 2, and 3. Roger, GCC. All recorders are at flight speed. Roger, TM.
At 1 million bits per second, data are fed to computers which record and process all information.
Terminal CGP. Go ahead, CGP. High and low speed data are leaving. Log catch recording.
From the computers, data pour into the ship's mission control center, where the NASA flight controllers analyze vehicle status.
Booster 1, Booster 2. Flight control. Go ahead, Booster 2. Dog 44-403 is a decimal 510. 510. Dog 45 is a decimal 506. Roger, hold those, give them the cab coffee, comes to you for them. K-138.
The well-being of the astronauts is analyzed. At the same time, data are sent to the satellite communications room for relay by satellite to NASA's Network Communications Control at Goddard and to Mission Control at Houston. These data enable Houston to decide if Apollo is go or no-go to the moon.
Metric data leading ship. Roger, GCC.
For the ship and for Apollo, the critical moment arrives. Right now, the ship has 2 key missions: transmit Houston's commands to the astronauts and scrutinize every event that leads to spacecraft launch.
Okay, RTC 70, we got a map. Command verified.
Okay, we're looking good for the burn, huh?
We're at 209 degrees pitch. Looks good.
Saturn's S-4B stage engines are now burning, pushing the spacecraft outward at 25,000 miles an hour. The flight dynamics officer, FIDO, must determine if Apollo's speed and direction are exactly as planned.
Coming up on separation, gang. Coming up on separation. Roger, I show 10 seconds of separation. Roger. Capcom, Fido. Go ahead. Okay, I'm showing a perigee of minus 41.73. Roger. Apogee 9409. Capcom, Fido, right on the money.
Right on the money.
First to confirm, LH2 blow down.
Apollo pulls away from the S-4B and enters the translunar path. A ship of space sails toward its destination. Three ships of Earth head home. From 3 oceans, 3 ships have been on track. On track and in constant touch with a spacecraft as it entered into and departed from Earth orbit.